Mauricio Umansky has always been known for much more than just his appearances on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He's a powerhouse in real estate, a devoted father, and the steady heartbeat behind one of reality TV's most iconic marriages. From the beginning, his story with Kyle Richards felt like a modern-day fairy tale, the kind that fans rooted for season after season. Their laughter filled the Bravo screens, their banter reminded viewers of love's playful side, and their resilience became an example for countless couples navigating fame, family, and everything in between. But now, after nearly 3 decades together, something has shifted. The confidence, the glamour, the smiles we've all come to recognize, they've been replaced by something raw, uncertain, and deeply human. Kyle and Mauricio are standing at a crossroads that no camera could ever fully capture. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky met long before the bright lights of RHOBH came calling. She was a former child actress from a Hollywood dynasty, the kind of woman who had grown up in the spotlight but still longed for something genuine. He was charming, ambitious, and grounded, a man who built his empire, the agency, from the ground up. Together, they created a home filled with love, laughter, and 4 beautiful daughters, Farah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. They built something rare in the entertainment world, a partnership that seemed untouchable. Through Beverly Hills drama, public scrutiny, and the unending curiosity of Bravo viewers, they stood hand in hand. Mauricio was the calm in Kyle's storm. Kyle was the heart that kept Mauricio centered. Their bond felt unbreakable until the whispers began. It started as quiet speculation. A few social media posts. A few appearances where Kyle wasn't wearing her wedding ring. Fans noticed, as they always do. And before long, headlines screamed what neither of them wanted to say out loud. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky, are they separating? What followed wasn't a typical reality show scandal. It was a slow unraveling, the kind that happens when love meets exhaustion, when two people who have built a life together realize that even the strongest foundations can crack. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, viewers watched as Kyle's vulnerability surfaced in ways it never had before. There were tears, there was tension, and there was truth. Mauricio, usually composed, always smiling, began to look like a man carrying invisible weight. Behind closed doors, friends say, the couple struggled to find balance between fame and family, between what the world saw and what their hearts felt. And then came the silence. No official statement, no clear answer. Just two people navigating one of the hardest chapters of their lives, under the watchful eye of millions. For months, Kyle kept quiet, deflecting questions, focusing on her daughters, and trying to hold together the pieces of a life that suddenly felt fragile. But during one emotional episode of RHOBH, she finally spoke. Her voice trembled, but her words were steady. "We've been through so much together," Kyle said softly. "I love Mauricio. He's my best friend. But sometimes, even when there's love, there are things you need to work through separately." That confession hit harder than any reunion moment ever could. Fans saw the heartbreak in her eyes. They saw a woman torn between loyalty and honesty, between protecting her family and finding herself again. Mauricio, for his part, remained remarkably composed in public. In interviews, he admitted that he and Kyle were going through a rough patch, but emphasized one thing again and again: we're not giving up on our family. That's what matters most. Behind those words was a man who had built everything, his business, his reputation, his marriage, on the belief that love and integrity would always prevail. But fame can complicate even the most sincere intentions. Every smile, every gesture, every social media post became a clue for fans trying to decode their relationship status. Still, Mauricio never wavered in showing respect for Kyle. He shared memories of family dinners, inside jokes, and the quiet moments that never made it to television. And through it all, he kept his focus on their daughters, making sure that, no matter what happened between them, the family remained intact. Inside the Richards-Umansky home, emotions ran deep. Farah, the eldest, spoke tenderly about her parents' strength, reminding fans that they've always been a team, even in hard times. Alexia and Safia shared old photos, small glimpses into the warmth that still lives inside their family dynamic. And Portia, the youngest, became a quiet symbol of why Kyle and Mauricio continue to fight for peace, even if their path together looks different now. Through every social media storm, one truth has remained constant. They are a family that loves fiercely and unconditionally. The Bravo community, cast members, friends, and fans alike, responded with an outpouring of love. Erica Jane, Dorrit Kemsley, and Garcelle Beauvais all voiced their support, expressing admiration for how Kyle was handling an impossibly public heartbreak with grace. Andy Cohen addressed the topic on his Sirius XM show, describing Kyle and Mauricio as one of Bravo's most authentic couples, real people in a real struggle. Across social media, fans flooded the couple with messages of hope and encouragement. "Love doesn't end, it changes," one follower wrote. Another said, "You can see the respect between them. That's what makes this so painful and so beautiful." Away from the cameras, Kyle began reflecting deeply on who she had become. For years, she'd been the glue, the friend, the mother, the wife, the peacemaker. But now, she was rediscovering herself as an individual. She started hiking more, meditating, writing. She leaned on close friends, women who understood what it meant to love deeply and still choose growth. In one poignant interview, Kyle admitted, "It's not about falling out of love. It's about finding out who you are when the noise quiets down." Her words resonated far beyond Beverly Hills, because behind the designer gowns and diamond dinners was something every viewer recognized. A woman trying to hold on to love while learning how to hold on to herself. Meanwhile, Mauricio channeled his emotions into his work. The agency continued to thrive. But those who know him say his focus wasn't on the numbers, it was on healing. He shared moments of gratitude on his Instagram, time with his daughters, beach sunsets, moments that reminded him what truly matters. When asked if reconciliation was possible, he smiled softly. "Kyle and I have a lot of history, a lot of love. Whatever happens, we'll always be family." That single sentence silenced 1,000 rumors. Because beyond the speculation, beyond the headlines, there was still tenderness, still connection, still the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, love can evolve and still survive. The story of Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky is no longer just a storyline on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's a mirror, reflecting the reality that even the most beautiful love stories can be tested. But it's also a reminder that love, in its truest form, doesn't always mean staying the same. Sometimes it means letting go of what was, to rediscover what can be. Their journey has become something much bigger than entertainment. It's become a lesson in resilience, maturity, and emotional truth. As of now, Kyle and Mauricio continue to co-parent, to communicate, and to show mutual respect. Their daughters remain the heart of their story, proof that even in moments of uncertainty, family is what endures. And as the cameras roll for the next season of RGOBH, fans are watching not for scandal, but for strength. Because whether this chapter ends in reconciliation or reinvention, one thing is certain. The love between Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky has already left an unforgettable mark, not just on Bravo history, but on the hearts of everyone who believes in second chances. Closing narration. Hollywood romances come and go. Reality TV couples rise and fall. But every once in a while, a story comes along that feels deeply, undeniably real. Kyle and Mauricio's story, full of laughter, heartbreak, growth, and grace, is one of those rare ones. It reminds us that behind the glitz of Beverly Hills are people who bleed, hope, and love just like the rest of us. And perhaps that's why their journey matters. Because in watching them, we see a reflection of ourselves, imperfect, evolving, but still holding on to love in all its complicated beauty. So as their next chapter unfolds, whether together or apart, one thing remains unshackably clear. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky will always be connected by something far stronger than fame. They'll be bound by family, by history, and by a love that refuses to fade, even under the brightest lights of Beverly Hills. Subscribe for ongoing coverage of Kyle and Mauricio's journey, the emotional evolution of RHOBH Season 14, and the real stories behind reality TV's most iconic couples. Because this isn't just gossip. This is about resilience. This is about love in all its beautiful, imperfect forms.